Did do you have any other stories like behind the scenes of making that album?
Like fucking what's some of the stories? Ill Bill's verse, he was the easiest one to work with, honestly. His verse was easy. Like I sent him the beat with a reference verse. It ended up being something totally different because he just did what he did, and I ended up rewriting a verse that made sense with the story he told. I didn't go first. I had a verse on there. It was kind of like battle-ish, just spin rhymes. And then he did what he did, which was like telling a story about this dude. So I was like, all right, I can't just have a battle rhyme on here. Fucking, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So I just went off of his story and continued the story and ended it. And fucking, it came out good. I love that. That might be my favorite song on that record. Fucking, but he did that shit. I sent him the beat. He sent it back to me in like 2 days.
Wow.
And he had started recording himself because that shit was fucked up. That was the worst quality verse I ever got in my life, bro. Fucking, because I guess Bill, he didn't necessarily know what he was doing with the equipment at that point. So like we had to do some major surgery to that. Major surgery. I remember Southpaw was like, oof, this is a mess. But he was good. Southpaw was good because he would like kind of like decrease, like lo-fi my verse to match. He was good at that shit, and then beef them both up with other plugins. God knows, I have no idea. That's why Southpaw is a fucking Pro Tools nerd, so he knows what he's doing, Which is why he's on tour doing live Pro Tools for big time pop artists nowadays. Makes sense.
Sheesh, yeah. How did you meet Bill?
Oh, first time I met Bill, man. That's a story, actually. Fucking first time I met Bill, I was opening up for Nonfiction. Southpaw. Ironically, there's a guy Southpaw, but there was also a venue in Brooklyn called Southpaw. It was a dope spot, pretty big. And was opening up for Nonfiction there. And this was when, I guess maybe you'd know. What year did Tech drop, like, the Point of No Return single?
Ooh,
maybe 04. When did Revolutionary Volume 2 drop? 04, I want to say?
Yeah, around there.
So it was 04 then. It was 2004 then. Uncle Howie put out the vinyl, like the single for Tech, before Viper did. Or they distributed, whatever Viper did at that point, they went through Uncle Howie. I think this was pre them having, good distribution lined up at this point.
No, it was actually 2003, it says.
Okay, so it was 03 going in. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Going into 04, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, 03.
Yeah, no, because you're right, because it says November of 2003. Yeah.
It was that time frame. And then so Tech was there. I knew DJ Eclipse at this point from doing WNYU college radio. Eclipse had a show. I had been up there a couple times. We were cool. Yeah. And so I'm opening up for them. And then the way Southpaw is set up is there's a little backstage thing behind the stage, but the rooms you chill in are down in the basement. You go down this long stairwell around this hallway, and then there's this like pretty big room with couches and whatnot. So everybody chills down there. And we go down there. I go down there. I guess I rocked, and then we go down there. And I'm chilling. And I'm like kind of standing in the doorway. There's mad people in there. There's people in the hallway. And I smoke a cigarette. I light up a cigarette. You see, I smoke cigarettes, right? And I guess apparently, I wasn't told this at the time, they didn't want smoking in the room because I guess they were having some girls sing or a girl singer. So they had singers there. They didn't want cigarette smoke to fuck with their vocals, which is fine with me. I just didn't know. Now, Bill and me are mad cool these days. Very nice guy to me now. But Bill could be a little abrasive at times. He could be a little abrasive with people he doesn't necessarily know. And he gets a little snappy. And fucking Bill's sitting on the couch. And instead of saying, yo, there's no smoking down here, you got to put that out, which I would have just put it out, no problem. Oh, my bad. I didn't know, Bill goes, yo, put that fucking cigarette out. What the fuck? Going off. And I'm like, what? What? So I'm like, yeah, no problem, man, but you don't got to fucking talk to me like that. And then it's like, all bets are off. The room clears out. We're in the hallway, right? And it's just me out there. Like a couple of my friends are upstairs that came with me. I was with Block McLeod. He was there with me. And he knows all them, you know. And fucking, it clears out into the hallway. And I'm surrounded by like 12, 15 people, I want to say, maybe 10. I don't know. Enough people to get hopped, you know. So I think Sabak's kind of in my face. They had this Asian friend who thought he was a gangster back then. Fucking, you know, they're like, yo, this and that. And I'm like, yo, then I just said to Bill, I was like, you don't got to talk to people like that. I didn't know I couldn't smoke in there, you know. Basically said, you could have just said, put the cigarette out. You know, don't try to fucking punk me. And then you got the Asian kid. I forget his name. I'd seen him somewhere else after that. But I just kind of basically didn't like him after that point because he thought he was tough. But he's like, yeah, you better watch out. You know, you got a lot of people here, like implying they're about to jump me. So I was like, I basically backed up against the wall and was like, all right, what's up? I had a beer in my hand. It went from being a beer you hold to drink to a beer I'm going to hit somebody with. And I was like, I bet, then let's fucking go. If we're going to go, let's fucking go. And I'll never forget down the long ass hallways is Technique and Eclipse talking, and they're looking like, what the fuck is going on here? What just happened, you know? And fucking, I don't know how it mellowed out, really, but I was not having it. I was not getting jumped without fucking people up. And I made that pretty abundantly clear. Then Bill walked away, and I was like, oh, you're just going to walk away and turn your back on me? And then we talked about it for a second, and fucking, we were cool after that somehow. I forget how, but later on we became
Did
cool.
he apologize?
Nah, it was just like, you know, we did another event together, and it was like, I don't know if they just knew I'm not a fucking pussy. You know, It's like, I'm going to stand up for myself, but, you know, it was just water under the bridge. I didn't really give a fuck. But that's how I met Bill. It was fucking funny.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah, it was funny.
Shout out to Bill, man.
Yeah. No, we got cool. Like the next thing we did, I forget where we were. We did something with UG from the Cellar Dwellers and shit. And Bill came up to me and was like, hey, how's everything been? How you doing? And he was just nice to me after that. Like, I guess maybe he realized he might have been a little harsh. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was pretty funny, though.
Was Necro there?
No. I don't think Bill and Necro they're brothers that like to beat each other up, I feel like. They're either best friends or worst enemies. I don't know if they were cool at that point in time. You know? They're like the brothers that it seemed to me, from the outside looking in, that'll like beat each other up at like Thanksgiving dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know if they're, you know, they've gone up and down where they're cool and then they're not, then they're cool, then they're not, then they do an album together, then they don't, you know, like, I don't know. He wasn't there though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, shout out to Necro, man. That's my guy. But